stop. A family shop. Think Thayer. Come on, let's get rolling. Come on, let's get moving. Think Thayer.
After the BGSU spring game, visiting with head coach Mike Jinks. Coach, today, I know you didn't get to go in the stadium and all that like a lot of times you will for a spring game, but your thoughts on how it went today?
Well, it was interesting, to say the least. No, the kids came out and I thought they competed at a high level. Quarterbacks were probably a little frustrated, not conducive of maybe throwing the deep ball. But all in all, I thought we got what we needed to get out of it.
And even though it was a small crowd because you're in the field house, did it help to have some fans here, jazz the guys up a little bit?
I did. It was probably the best walkthrough and warm-up we had yet. So they'll welcome anytime they want. No, we were, Coach Downer and I were a little, I wouldn't say concerned, but, didn't know how this thing would all play out. And, it was a pretty full house. And I think they got about 40, 50 plays in and got a little taste of what the 2016 team may offer.
Let's talk more specifically about spring in its entirety to this point, not just today. Your pacing, your speed with the offense, how is it coming along? Is it where you thought you could be?
I've been pleased with the operations. Okay, I like to see us make a few more plays on the outside, but that's a work in process. That should be expected when you lose two great receivers like we did. Scotty Miller's kind of stepped up and as an inside piece. Ronnie's not going this spring. Excited to get him back into the fold. Just having him around, his enthusiasm is infectious. So to get him back and get Timmy back into the mix, we got a chance to do some pretty special things offensively.
Your defense, a lot of guys returning from that unit. How have they played this spring?
Well, they bought into Coach E and the system, and they're really flying around. I think if you were to visit with them per man, they've got a lot of confidence about them right now, and that's what this game's about. I think Coach's system, simplified some things and allowed them to use their athletic ability. So, again, the pieces are in place, and just like every head coach, the most important thing about spring is you want to get out healthy. We've done a decent job of that. So next week we got just some special team situations and 2-minute type of situations that we'll touch on, and we'll start recruiting.
Speaking of special teams, we saw you work on some things here today at the spring game. Have you had a real focus on special teams in spring? Because I think a lot of people assume that you would not do much with that in springtime.
Well, we definitely have, and a lot of that. As the years go on, you may see the number of reps decrease a little bit, but especially at this point, you've got to be good, got to be great in all three phases, and that's the difference from going to the GoDaddy Bowl, no disrespect, and going to the Orange Bowl. So we're going to make sure that phase is we pay just as much attention to that phase as we do any other.
Coach, final thoughts here as spring winds down, your quarterback position.
Right.
You only have two guys on scholarship in spring camp.
Right.
How limiting was that for those two guys? Was it hard to get them all those reps, or did you have enough?
It was tough. It was tough. My arm's a little sore because in the way that our practice are structured, you really need 5 of them. So Coach Dagan and myself, Coach Padron, we really got an extra few throws in. As far as evaluating was good because there were a ton of reps. They got plenty of reps. Really more so than anything else, the lack of depth at the receiver position is what probably was a little bit of an issue going through the spring because you got ones and you got twos and they're splitting the reps with both. And really those twos right now are a bunch of walk-on kids who are giving us everything they got, but limited a little bit in their abilities and really, don't have any clue to what we're trying to do offensively. So more so than anything else, it was that lack of depth at the receiver spot that might have caused some issues.
Coach, always great to visit with you. Hopefully the limited spring you have left will go well, and we look forward to the season.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
BGSU spring game here at the Perry Fieldhouse. Coach Perry Eliano is with us, the defensive coordinator, associate head coach. From the defensive perspective, Coach, this spring as a whole, not just today, seems like your guys are playing well.
The guys have really embraced us. The thing we've done is laid out a sound foundation as far as, what's expected of them. How to tackle, how to block, get off blocks, how to come to balance, It's every day is a learning process for these guys, and they've embraced us. I'm really, really proud. Their effort has been awesome, and they want to be great.
When you look at each section of your defense, the front, backers, secondary, it would appear at first blush the front is where you got the most work to do as far as replacing guys. Evaluate how it's gone there.
Really well. Coach White And our GA, Ben Olsen, has done a phenomenal job with those guys. The thing we stepped into really is they're mature. They want to be great. We've simplified some things so they can play faster. And our core is always up front. You know, it starts up front. In order for us to be the defense we see and envision us, it starts up front. And those guys realize that, and I'm proud of them to this point. They've done a great job.
And speaking of moving fast, of course, the offense is built on that pace, and that affects how you guys have to approach your defensive philosophy. How does it all fit together with your defense?
I love it. I told Coach Jinks and Coach Kilmer and the offensive staff, go as fast as y'all want. One, that gives us conditioning. Two, it makes us really focus in on making sure that our communication is razor sharp. And really and truthfully, it tests us mentally. We want practice to be as hard as possible on our guys. So when we get to game day, it's easy. So I tell them, go as fast as you want. We've never made an excuse about it, and we told our players, you know, I don't care what they do. Let's get lined up, let's communicate, understand what's in front of you, and let's continue to get better.
Defensive coordinator Perry Eliano, from your perspective, a couple of breakouts maybe this spring season that we may not have noticed. Any guys that stepped up in your eyes and surprised you a little bit?
You know, obviously Austin Valdez in the middle. You know, he's a all-conference player for us. He's done a great job. You know, Isaiah Lunsford, he's done a great job. You know, Terrence Bush, he's done a great job. You know, the back end as a whole, really and truthfully, they've learned to gel and come together even more. You know, but overall, we're still evaluating. You know, for us too, it's a process. I mean, every day this spring is new because we haven't been around them, you know, a whole year. So for us, it's just a matter of evaluating guys, putting them in the right position. What's going to give us the very best opportunity when we line up September 3rd and the rest of the season.
Defensive coordinator Perry Eliano with us here after the BGSU spring game. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Andy Padron, let's talk about this spring game from the offensive perspective. We didn't see a lot of reps today, but other than today, just the spring in general, and today kind of an anticlimactic thing for you, I'm sure. How's it been going this spring?
Really well, really well. We, you know, with some of the guys that we have injured, it was more of get people in there. As a whole, offensively, just execute, go at a fast tempo. Let's just rep the plays. You know, it's been a big thing. Our defense is doing the same thing. They're not scheming us. We're not scheming them. It's just let's operate. And I think from a quarterback's perspective, that's what we wanted to see. They did that. And the whole offense as a whole, we got lined up. We were able to execute what we wanted. Sometimes the plays weren't exactly what we needed against what the defense was doing, but for the most part, we were happy with how we performed today and the whole spring.
You know, today it wasn't at the stadium, wasn't a huge crowd or whatever, but there was a little bit of extra eyes on you. Does that help you evaluate guys in a more game-like situation?
Yeah, we you know, the crowd, our guys don't pay attention to. You know, it was good to have, you know, a bigger crowd than our normal practice, just kind of raised it more to a game type of level and got the excitement up a little bit. But for us, it's just execution, and I think as a whole, we did that, so we were excited.
Everybody likes to talk about reps and things, but fans are, of course, interested in personnel. The quarterback spot, James Kanapke, looks like he's taken most of the, I guess, quote-unquote, first-team reps. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, he did. He's, you know, he's a senior. I think, you know, from just game management standpoint, you know, he's been in it. You know, he led him to a MAC championship, you know, and so he's kind of got the senior mentality. You know, he's very calm, cool, and collected. And then James Morgan comes in, and he's just, you know, phenomenal talent. Is going to be really good, and he's day by day getting better and better as far as just the whole operations and the flow of the game.
Let's move out to the receiver spot. Falcons lost a lot of great players there. I know we've got a lot of talent waiting to get more reps as those guys have moved on. Take us through some of those guys and what you've seen this spring.
Yeah, Scotty Miller. You know, he's one of our guys right now. Ronnie Moore, you know, he was injured all spring, but he'll be a guy that factors in. Hunter Fulkersma, he's done a great job of coming in. You know, in the old offense, he was just more of a true tight end. In ours, he's been splitting out and playing more receiver. So that was an adjustment for him from day one practice where he's running all over the place and he was dead about halfway through to this practice. Just a complete different guy, and he did a good job, you know, learning and everything. T.O. Redding did a great job out at our X. He's going to continue to get better as he gets stronger. He's got a lot of speed, able to jump. out at Z, Robbie did a great job. Rhodes, he caught a touchdown today, and he's continuing to get better as he learns everything what he's doing. He's got phenomenal talent, can run, can jump, can catch, and he's been doing well in the classroom. So that's been a big part of it. And I think as we get the younger guys in, it's going to add to our depth is really the main thing. Pudavong, he did a lot of good things. He had a dramatic difference from when he started spring ball to this spring game. We're excited about him because he's got the tools to be really good. And Pugh on the outside, he's coming along well. He's kind of been hampered with an injury, but he's done a great job of kind of learning everything and having the speed and making some plays.
Coach, it's been a good spring up to this point. Congratulations on that. I know you got a few more practices. Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.